Yes, let's just leave it at that. And again, congratulations and happy new year. It's a new year. It's a seminar year. Happy new year. Okay. We get 2 new years, right? We get January 1st and we get July 1st. How lucky are we? Like, talk about turning the clock back, right? We get to have 2 do-overs every year of starting over, setting goals. As of today, national sales directors, consultants, brand new baby beauty consultants that don't even have a starter kit yet. We all start on the same playing field. Today is like, I don't want to say ground zero because that has a bad connotation, but we're just all at the starting gate, the same starting gate, right? Like as if we were in a race, no one's gone ahead. We're all standing in the same lane. Now, some things may have happened today, but basically when the clock started chiming 12:01 a.m. today, we all started over. And that's kind of a cool thing if you think about it. That being said, I want to talk about goal setting. I know we do talk about goal setting a lot. However, and I did want to give recognition to Deb Chase. She did have a sale last week of $37. Congratulations. I did not get your weekly accomplishment sheet, but I did get your text message. So congratulations on that. Okay. So bear with me here for a minute. I want to make this interactive. So we're going to talk a little bit about stuff and we're going to talk about our feelings because one thing there's a person in Mary Kay who recently retired, who was an idol of mine and Kelly, I know yours too. And that is National Sales Director Emeritus Pam Shaw. And she always said, inspect what we expect. So I want you to ask yourself questions. I want you to get a piece of paper and a pencil or your phone or something to take down these questions. Did you achieve your goals for June? So write that down. Did you achieve your goals for June? The next question, have you set your goals for July? Have you set your goals for July? That's cute. Yes or no, right? Yes or no? What are your goals for July? And maybe you haven't even thought about it yet. You're like, 4th of July is coming. I'll deal with it after that. Well, start thinking about it now. All right. How does it feel to know that you get to start over and today is the day? Did you set your schedule either with a planner, a calendar, a weekly plan sheet this last year? And I'm talking about last seminar year. So that would be, for those of you who are new, July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. We run on a fiscal year, and that's why we get 2 new years. So the seminar year, all the prizes, all the recognition happened during that window. And then, of course, we have our calendar year. Okay. Are you using a 6 most important things to do list every night? They're posted on Facebook. Kelly's taught on it. Heidi's taught on it. I mean, we kind of 6 most important things you to death because it's such a great way to keep your brain free for all the important things. All right. So every day starts off fresh. Your mind doesn't run in circles. Did you get the recognition you deserve last month or the month before? Did you get the recognition you deserve? We can just say this last year. I know Annual Unit Awards is not here yet, but on a monthly basis, did you get the recognition you deserve? The next question, have you created your wedding list, people? Have you created your wedding list? And I loved it when we had our Boise Blast right after COVID. We were able to have, oh gosh, I just drew a blank on her name, Linda Tupin, National Sales Director Linda Tupin, come out. And that was the one thing she said to us is a wedding list. There's an average of 150 people at every wedding. It's just a numbers game. Like, numbers never lie, right? And so most of us could find about 150 people to invite to our wedding. Would you agree? So have you created your wedding list yet? Doesn't mean that you're going to go get married, for those of you who are dying inside. I'm already married. No, I don't want to get married. Okay, it's not really about getting married. It's just the list of people. Have you set aside the time to get quiet and decide what you want? Everything's about timing and setting aside the time to do the planning and get everything all lined up and in order so that you can have what you want. And Mary Kay always said, even if you miss, if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss the moon, you're going to land among the stars. So there is no failure. There's only failing forward. And if you are beating yourself up or feeling bad about what you haven't done, let go of it. In fact, right now, I want you just to imagine a jar outside your house, like a vase. And I want you to put all that in a jar, in that vase. And you can pick it up later if you really want to, but I don't want you to. I want you to just leave it out there. Let go of the past. You can do nothing about it. It does nothing but cloud your future. Today is a fresh start. We're all at the starting gate. We're all going from here forward. When you drive your car, you don't drive looking in the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror is simply for a little bit of reflection and know what's coming up behind you. All right. We drive through looking through the windshield. What's ahead of us? That way we don't go off the road. That way we stay on our path. All right. So have you set aside the time to get quiet and decide what you want? If you have not set aside the time, I want you to get your calendar, use your phone, write it down on your paper. When do you want to get quiet and do that? 10 minutes. It doesn't take a day. It doesn't even take an hour. 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, right? Get real quiet, take some deep cleansing breaths, and think about what you want. Even if it seems beyond your reach, maybe it's something that you haven't done yet. Maybe it is. Maybe you've done it and you want to do it again. It's okay. Harvard has done studies, and I know we talk about these numbers, but some of you are new on here today. So Harvard business study revealed that when related to goal setting and success, the study found that 14% of people who have goals are 10 times more successful than those without goals. Okay, I'm going to give you those numbers again because I'm kind of a numbers person. I'm a nerd. 14% of those who have goals are 10 times more successful than those without goals. And if you look around on the Zoom right now, you're going to know that's true because we promote goal setting in Mary Kay, right? A lot of jobs are catching on, and culture, is a big thing for the workforce out there, and setting goals. It's catching on, but Mary Kay's been doing that since the beginning of inception of our company. The 3% with written down goals are 3 times more successful than the 14% with unwritten goals. I'm going to say it again. The 3% with written goals are 3 times more successful than the 14% with unwritten goals. Okay? That's kind of like, whoa. And these are statistics. Like, the numbers don't lie. People will disappoint you, but numbers never will. All right. Another way to look at it, setting goals is linked with self-confidence, motivation, and autonomy. All right. I was like the least self-confident woman when I first came into Mary Kay. I've gained my confidence by being in Mary Kay, by setting goals, by stretching, by getting out of my comfort zone, by trusting my director and doing what she said to do, trusting in Mary Kay, and trusting that she believed in us so much that she gave us such an opportunity with a 50%, purchase price that we get. We get 50%, 50. There's not a lot of other companies that even can match that. And in a 90% buyback if we decide it isn't for us, right? Who does that? Mary Kay. When people write down their goals, they're 33% more successful in achieving them than those who formulated outcomes in their head. And that's from a study by a psychologist named Gail Matthews. So they're constantly doing studies. And the bottom line is, write your goals down. You're going to be a step ahead of everyone else just by writing them down. First of all, we got to go through the process of creating them. But I want to just paint a picture of how important it is to actually have your goals written down, have them in a visual format as well. Okay. So what are the 4 benefits? The benefits of setting goals include greater direction, greater focus, increased productivity, and higher levels of motivation. How many of you had a goal and it was all you could do just to sit still. Like you knew I cannot wait to get this goal achieved, right? Kelly just went through it and she's got the permanent smile to prove it. And her dazzling whites are going to just like, we need sunglasses today because she's just so excited. When we have a goal that we're excited about, that's what happens. And it's like you can't wait to get there. And it keeps you motivated. Motivation comes from within. You know, people can say we get motivated, but that inspiration and motivation kind of get crossed over sometimes. Motivation comes from within as well. Like knowing we can get excited about something, go to seminar, get all excited, and then come home and do nothing because it didn't really motivate us or inspire us. At the moment, it might have, so when we get self-motivated, like when we know with beyond a shadow of a doubt, I'm writing my goal down. This is what I want. I'm going to achieve this no matter what. Well, how many of us have life? Raise your hand. Let me see those hands. I know most of you don't have your cameras on, but raise your hands, right? We all have life. And when life happens, thanks, Kelly. I see the hand. Jen, great. When we have life happen to us, this is something that I learned a long time ago, and I can't remember which national said it or if it was Mary Kay herself, but you know, there's a saying about, you know, when you're going through a crisis, usually you need money. Would you agree? Right? A crisis usually, if you had more money, it would make that crisis less of a crisis. So when you work towards a goal, knowing that you can earn money, because again, money was why I came into Mary Kay. Money motivated me because of the choices it could give me. So when you have that motivation, like to make money, to get through a crisis, it's going to help you. So setting goals. Let's get back on track. April, sorry, I'm getting off on my little bandwagon. another benefit with the direction and greater focus and the increased productivity and the high levels of motivation is that it's going to help you to transform your habits. Habits are just something that you do over and over again. I am a creature of habit. I think most of us are on certain things. And there's nothing wrong with that unless the habit is keeping you stuck and hindering you from achieving your goals. All right. So your mindset, your confidence, your daily actions, they can all be transformed, your habits, by setting goals. And maybe your goals have to do with, you know, I want to lose weight. I want to attend more church events. I want to do more date nights with my spouse. I want to go on more adventures. You know, your goals can include things other than Mary Kay as well. All right. I don't want to just put that in a little pink box and say all we can set goals on is Mary Kay, because that's not true. We can set goals on everything. And sometimes we reach the other goals sooner than we do the Mary Kay goals. And I love how Jen does it. And maybe if we get done here, if I can quit talking, I will have her share with the new people how she has set goals on her goal poster and how she's accomplished them and manifested them in her life. Okay. If she's willing, I'm just putting her on the spot, but I know she's good with me. So anyway, there are 4 areas of goal setting. One would be wealth. One is health. One is relationships, and one is self-fulfillment. I can tell you, every time I get to tell people that I meet about where I started from before Mary Kay and where I am now, maybe I'm not exactly where I want to be, but if I could look back and see how far I've come, that's like a huge win. And if you've ever set a goal and not achieved it, I want you to take a little look back in that rearview mirror. Remember, it's for reflection, and go back and see where you started from and look how far you've come. Just to pat yourself on the back a little bit, because that self-fulfillment is something that can come from the hardships that we had in the rough road and the rocky road and the detours and the life that happens. Enjoying the journey is just that. It's enjoying the journey. Good, bad, ugly, hairy, stinky, fun. It doesn't matter where you are. You have to enjoy it. And you may not enjoy it exactly in the moment, but you can pivot pretty quick and look at it and go, you know what? This is meant to be. This is meant to happen, and I'm going to be better for it. Or something good is going to come out of this. Or I know that, you know, there's a purpose in this, and so I'm going to go with it and I'm going to pivot. So that all being said, next thing I want you to write down is, who do I want to become? Who do I want to become? Most of us, when asked who you are going to say, I am a sales director. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's what we do. It's not who we are. And so who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? Right? I want to become a confident, healthy, happy, fun-loving, laughable woman who attracts people who want to be in my space. Okay. Who do I want to become? Next question. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth and I can't stand it. Okay. What is it that you want to achieve? Okay. That's that goal part that we're talking about. Get very clear on what you want. And if you don't know what you want right here, right now, during this little session we're doing, make sure you're putting a time in your calendar, on your phone. You're writing down a time of when you're going to sit down and get clear on that. And sometimes, like, talking about like looking in the past and looking in the rearview mirror and where you've come from, sense of accomplishment can come from beating your best or getting the next best prize. You know, Denise was at $400,000 last year, reaching for 450, reaching for 5. You know, we're always striving to increase, and the company is doing that right now with the new DIQ program, starting out at 36 and then going up to 4 and 45. So it's increasing in increments, excuse me. All right, so get clear on what you want, and don't let anyone convince you that what you want is not okay. That is really, really important. Okay, whatever it is you want. Next, what is your financial goal? Remember, money motivated. I like what money does. Money buys me choices. What is your financial goal? We're going to break down some things if I have time here. And then what is your team building goal when it comes to Mary Kay? I know a lot of people come in and they don't want to join. They don't want to build their team. I didn't. I was certainly not going to share this business opportunity with anyone. I didn't really want anyone knowing I was doing it because I was embarrassed because I was peddling lipstick. My father said, you have a college education and you're going to go peddle lipstick. And the church we grew up in, lipstick was a sin. It was makeup. So I had a double whammy there with my family. It changed when I paid for my stepmom's hysterectomy, emergency hysterectomy, which they didn't have health insurance. And I was able to take money and pay for that for them. Their tune changed. Money buys you choices. Okay. So set a team building goal. If Mary Kay has improved your life in any way, just a little teeny tiny bit, I don't care. Think about one thing that you would never give up. Like if you had to give up Mary Kay, what's one thing that you would never have to give up? Like me, self-confidence, like becoming a confident woman. You could take my Mary Kay away, my makeup, my prizes, my money, all of that could be taken away from me, but you would never be able to take my self-confidence away and what I've gained. So if you have gained something from Mary Kay, and I know you all have, and I know some of you are new, but you're already gaining just by being on tonight. Don't you think that someone else out there could use that gain for themselves? They want what we have. I didn't know I wanted what we have. I didn't know. I avoided it. I said no 1,000 times. I thought I was better than this. I didn't want to get in trouble with my family. I didn't have time. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any confidence. I mean, I had like zero reason to join Mary Kay and every reason to join. I had every excuse not to join, every objection, everyone, just about. I can't think of any objection I did not have. And yet, here I am. And Mary Kay has changed my life forever. Okay, moving on. Once you're clear, break it down into activity. And here's where we're going to try to like figure out what your goals are and how to do it. Denise teaches us to do the T sheet. And the T sheet is where you take a piece of paper and you put a T, right? And whatever your financial goals are, it can be team building goals. You're going to put it up here on the one side. And then as you make your sales, you're going to add it to that or deduct it down to where you meet your goal, right? Kind of like a thermometer. I like the thermometer thought that works for me in my brain better, where I have it up at the top, you know, because I'm reaching high. To me, that makes more sense. And then adding it in there until I get there. So whatever works for you visually, think about that. Now, I want to go back just a little bit here and talk to you a little bit about what emotions that you are coming up with what I've shared so far. How did you feel when you had your first facial and she told you that you looked pretty? How do you think your customers feel when that happens? I know it warms my heart. That's my paycheck of the heart that I get every time. It is what keeps me going every single time to see the expression on someone's face. So how did it make you feel? I want you to just close your eyes for a second and think about that. How did you feel when you got your first Mary Kay order? Riley just got a first weekend in, and how did it make you feel? How did you feel when you got your first customer or a first team member or first commission check? Think about how it made you feel. So, will you celebrate yourself now, seeing yourself, visualizing yourself achieving that goal, whatever it might be, whatever, area of your life that you're wanting to set a goal in? We're focusing on your business, but let's not exclude any of your personal life, the other areas as well. How are you going to feel when you celebrate that? Are you willing to take the appropriate actions to move forward with that? It's our choice to love women and serve women and do what we do. The results from this last month don't come from one day. They come from all the days compounded up until now. You can eat an elephant one bite at a time. Okay. Another thing to think about is what you're grateful for, because when you get into that area of gratitude, it helps to give me clarity when I do that. When I start writing down what I'm grateful for, it makes the challenges seem less challenging. It makes the light shine a little brighter. It makes the darkness go away. So wherever your mind goes, your focus flows. And I am so trained at that. I have to get out of my head constantly and go back into my heart in order to accomplish what I want to accomplish and with the intention that I want to accomplish it. So the other thing is, what's your intention? Do you set your intention every single day? Do you get up and listen to the hotline? Do you listen to your affirmations? Do you look at your goal poster? Do you set your intention for what you expect to get out of your day? It's a daily thing when it comes to your goals. It's not, by the end of the month and you're thinking 30 days away, I have time. No, tomorrow. Tomorrow you wake up and you do your stretches or whatever you do, and you meditate or you pray, have your coffee, and then set your intention for the day. During that time, that little quiet time. For me, I have like 10 minutes in the morning, only because I don't want to get up as earlier than I already do. But set your intention. I do it as I'm waking up. I go, okay, I kind of set my intention actually before I fall asleep too, of how I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to wake up feeling good, and I'm going to wake up feeling refreshed, and then setting my intention on my goals of, okay, tomorrow's going to be a great day. I'm going to have great traffic driving. I'm going to meet a new person. Someone's going to come to me who needs what I have to offer in Mary Kay. So set your intention on a daily basis, add that into your goals. And then I want you to also think about this. When you're setting aside time to come up with what your goal is, if you have not already done that, what breakthroughs or insights have you experienced or created during this last quarter that are helping you to get there? Okay, so that's the question. What breakthroughs, insights, or shifts have you experienced or created during this last quarter? Because what you look for, you'll find. What you focus on, you'll find. And then what actions are you ready to take right now? All right, so there's that. And I'm going to talk just another minute about setting up those goals. So if you have your dollars like figured out for goal setting. I recommend, I earned another diamond ring this year. Kelly did as well. I'm pretty sure Denise did. I think she finished up right before I did. Anyway, Queen's Court of Sales, that's a great goal. If that's way beyond your scope and what you can't think of, then we'll break it down to plan to be a star. At the very least, be a star consultant every quarter. Okay, so they did change the retail value of achieving the Queen's Court of Sales for the new seminar year. And so those numbers changed slightly, but I'm going to start right there, and then we're going to work our way back just a little bit. So who would be willing to raise their hand and say that that is something that they are wanting to achieve, is to earn the Queen's Court? Kelly, you've done it before. Yep. Heidi, anyone else? And it's okay that, all right, great, Vanessa. You don't have to do it. Great, Kelly Moore. Glad to see that. All right, Rebecca. Yes. So those of us who've been in a little bit longer, Deb, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Those of us who've been in a while realize what that means when you get to be on the Queen's Court. You know, first of all, you get the reception with free food before seminar, and you get to go in early because you get to go to the reception. You get recognized, you earn the prize. If you don't like what they have, you can take the cash. Heidi is showing us that gorgeous Queen's Court prize that she got last year, which, oh, it looks so good on your finger. It's so much prettier in person. You know, I've earned several rings, and sometimes you can go back and earn a past prize. They'll have past prizes that you can get, which I've done. So if that's on your wheelhouse, great. Let's break down the numbers. It's now 45,000 in retail instead of 40. So that breaks down to $3,750 a month retail. Okay. Retail meaning selling, right? That's what you should sell that. That's the goal. Okay. That's around $1,000 a week, a little less. If you divide that out by 4, that comes out to $469. Sorry, I said wholesale. I'm sorry, I said retail. That was wholesale. So it breaks down to about $469 a week. Now, Kelly Moore just had how many? Like $999 week, right? So she just cut that 2 weeks off right there. Like she already got her first 2 weeks in towards Queen's Court right there when she places her wholesale order for that amount of product. Okay. So 4,500 broken down into 12 months is $3,750 a month. Broken down to divided by 4 for how many weeks? 4 weeks in a month on average, $1,875. I'm sorry, $3,750. $1,875 is the wholesale amount, and then you divide that by 4. Okay, $469. That's the number we come up with. Now, if that's bigger than what you're thinking you can do, that's okay. You should think big. You want your goals to stretch you just a little bit. You want to get out of your comfort zone. It makes it easier. Thank you so much for putting the numbers in there, Heidi. Perfect. All right, the next numbers we want to talk about, and Heidi touched on it earlier because we do have a new program, and I love it when they do something new. It's so much fun. We love change, right? There's one thing that we can guarantee: life is going to change, rules are going to change, laws are going to change, prices are going to change, products are going to change. Everything, life changes. The change is inevitable. So embrace it. Change is when it comes to Mary Kay, when I say she, but when the company creates change, it is always, 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 always for our benefit. So embrace the change. It's not always easy. We're creatures of habit, but embrace the change. So if we're going to break down those numbers, give me just a second. I was going to try and screen share with you, but I don't know that I can do it on this thing. So, oh, and I also wanted to share this little statistic because I'm also that numbers junkie, remember? Queen's Court of sharing is 24 Great Start qualified. and the Princess Courts for the Mary Kay National area, because we do not have a national sales director. So we get thrown into what's called the Mary Kay National area. So they do promotions for us because we don't have a national doing it like other areas. The Princess Courts are 12,000 and 20,000 retail. Or sorry, I'm so 12 Great Start qualified, 20, and I'm assuming it's going to go up now that the 45, but we haven't seen that and we haven't had our meeting yet, so I can't guarantee you. I'm going to guess that it's half of what the retail for the Queen's Court is for the company. But the company average on sharing is 1 out of 5 people will join your team. And so then all you have to do is say how many team building appointments will you need. So it's basically an average of 2 Great Start qualified team members per month. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes consultants will join your team, but they don't actually become Great Start qualified in that first month. So you'll get a bunch in 1 month. These are averages. And they have time to go collectively, or at least I haven't seen anything with the company that says it's different, but it's a collective, you know, they could do a 200, a 200, and a 200 to get to their Great Start qualified at the 3rd month. Okay. Does that make sense? So that's 2 a month. So how many team building appointments would you need to do? Shares, talks with your director. How many of those would you need to do? How many of the marketing videos would you need to send out? If 1 out of 5 join your team, because it's company averages. So 1 out of 5, you need 24 to be on the Queen's Court of Sharing. And that's Great Start qualified, meaning they're placing a 600 wholesale order in 1 calendar month. Or with a new team member, it's going to be, they can become Great Start qualified in the first 3 months. And knowing what your average face is going to help you with all your other numbers. Now, the company average, and I would say the company average is spot on because I track my numbers. The company average is $100 a face. So, and for a party, it's $350. Now with price changes that we're having, I think those numbers are going to go up. And that's why Mary Kay raised some of the prices so that we can make more money with what we're doing. And they held off during COVID. So just know everything they do when they change something is for our benefit. So what am I willing to do is the question you want to ask yourself. And once you know what that dollar figure is, what your financial goal is with your business, you'll be able to figure that out. In 2021, there were $30 million directors. The year prior to that, there were 12. 10 years ago, there were 6. So it's okay to dream big, but you do want to make your goals realistic. If you just signed up, you're not going to be a national by the end of the year. That would be almost physically impossible for you to do that much work. I won't say it can't be done, but I would say that would be stretching it quite a bit. You want it to be realistic enough. Now, it still needs to be a stretch, but you want it to be realistic. Okay. So back to Star Consultant. $300 weeks. If you sell $300 a week, you will be a Star Consultant if you do that consistently, because $300 weeks will bring you $1,800 to be a Sapphire Star Consultant in wholesale orders, $1,800 in the quarter. If you wanted to bump it up and be a Ruby Star Consultant, first level is Sapphire at 18. Next level is 24, and that's Ruby. You're going to have $400 weeks. If you want to go up to Diamond, which is 3,000, and earn those prizes, points that you can earn or buy prizes, I guess, cash in your points. 3,000 is Diamond, is $500 weeks. 3,600 and above, $600 weeks, and you're a Pearl. Emerald. And then above that is Pearl. So if you know how much money you want to make and how much time you have, we can break down your goals, and I can help you individually. Your director can. We all have that ability to help our consultants. Now I'm going to open up for questions. I know we're at the end of the time. I shared a ton of stuff, but I want your feedback. So who has some feedback for me or questions or wants to share what their goal is? Who's
At
still
the
awake?
very beginning, April, can you go back to number 3?
Oh,
So
sure.
did you achieve your June goals? Did you set your goals for July? And then what was the next one?
Yes. Did you set your schedule either with a planner, calendar, or weekly plan sheet?
Okay.
And then I think I forgot to, no, six most important was after that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And then did you get the recognition you deserve? So
Yep.
I'll read them all one more time so that we're clear. Did you achieve your goals for June? Have you set your goals for July? What are your goals for July? Did you set your schedule either with a planner, calendar, or weekly plan sheet? We like the weekly plan sheet. Are you using a six most important things to do list every night? Did you get the recognition you deserve over this last year on a monthly basis? Have you created your list of 150 people? And have you set aside the time to get quiet and decide what you want? Got it? Okay. Any other feedback? Anybody want me to help with breaking down goals or want to share what your goal is? Anybody have inspiration?
Being consistent for me was a huge thing, which is why I kind of went up and down and up and down, and really dialing that in the last 6 months, I would say more so than really the year. But I mean, I really had to get consistent and daily remind myself and daily make some of those things. And like, I mean, if you guys just listen to what everybody is saying in all of the trainings and all the avenues, it works. It just don't reinvent the wheel and everything. Like, do the things. And the numbers is so amazing because it takes the emotion out of it. The numbers don't lie and there's no emotions attached to the numbers. So follow the steps, do the numbers, do the things, be consistent, and it works. Like, I swear I'm living proof. And you guys who've known me for a while know the ups and downs I went through. And like, it stretches you, and that's a good thing. If the goal or the dream doesn't scare you a little bit, it's not big enough.
Exactly. Thank you.
Mhm.
Jen, do you have a second to jump on and share what you did and how you did your visualization with your goals and achieving them and getting them to manifest?
Me?
Yes.
Well,
You
I
remember what I'm talking
always
about?
no, which one?
Like you put with when you got your washer and dryer, like you had
Oh yeah,
goals and
yeah. So my vision board.
thank you.
So
Vision. It's more of a vision board, but you need
yeah,
to be visual with your goals as well.
yeah, I'm a very visual person. So, and again, money gives me choices. And so, as someone who is a single homeowner, things like, well, I need a new washer and dryer. Well, I want to, be able to, pay off my student loans. I want to be able to take this trip or whatever. So I put those pictures of those items on my vision board. And then I have little stickers I made that says goal achieved. And every time I pay off one of those things or I get to go on that trip or whatever, I slap that goal achieved sticker on there and I leave that thing on my vision board. I make it like a 2-year vision board because I want to be able to see that success too. I don't want to just check it off and take it off of there and, so I mean, the thing is covered because I keep adding stuff to it. But I also want to see what all I have achieved along the way too, so that I can kind of bask in the glow of it too with that goal achieved on it because it's really cool to go back and go, oh, I had no goal achieved stickers and now I have, 8 on there right now after this year or whatever. So it's kind of fun to look at.
I like how that it's like looking in the past and seeing how far you've come.
Right.
Like it's your small wins add up to big wins. And that's the beauty of setting goals and having a vision for what you want and deciding what you want and knowing that Mary Kay can be the avenue to get whatever it is you want in your life, whatever it is you want. This is a
Yeah.
vehicle for that.
Yeah. And I try and make it a mix of realistic stuff like a washer and dryer and fun stuff like a trip. I mean, it's not all paying off the bills, but yeah. So a
Well, you
little
went on
bit
a
of
trip
both.
to Scotland with your goals.
Yeah, Ireland and England and all that. Yeah. So and Mary Kay paid for most of that. So and that was on there and got to put the goal achieved sticker on there and yeah, so it's fun to be able to see those accomplishments. So and look at it every day and know I'm working towards those and the next one and the next one. So yep.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing. I wanted, especially like Riley, who's new, and I don't know if Sam even knows that. Hi, Sam. I saw that you got on, and Krista, it's so great to see you on tonight too. I'm glad you got on. Deb, I see you jumped on. Thank you. Jackie, hello, Jackie. And I don't know if we lost anybody along the way here. I did not look at their messages.
I wanted to include like part of my goal is to be consistent because like Kelly, because I do this ebb and flow thing with my personal business, and that is not a good role model to my consultants either. And like the speed of the leader, speed of the gang. But I was re-listening to Pam Shaw today, her seminar speech, and she says in there that consistency eats talent for lunch. And she
Yes.
says that you can be so consistent and have zero talent and do far more successful things than someone with talent who is not consistent. And that is so true. It like hit me hard today. And I was like, okay, consistency is my word for the year. Like I pick a new word at the beginning of the seminar year, not the new year. And I'll probably make a new vision board soon too. Um, because that's it's a real hindrance. And then you look at it like it not being not consistent stems from procrastination, right? It's like we procrastinate things and then that causes us to not be consistent. So it's like, why are we doing that? And what's holding us back? So I'm really focusing on that and I'm excited for that.
Yay. Thank you for sharing, and thank you, Jen.
Yes.
Anybody else want to share? Thanks for putting what you put in the chat too. Where consistency, yeah, consistency is the key. It builds discipline. And I know that in my start with Mary Kay, I was a single mom living in low income housing and working 3 part-time jobs while going to school full time, pulling 21 credits. I had no time. I had no money. I had no confidence. I literally slept 2 to 3 hours a night. And I was disciplined though, because I was paying for my own education. And I knew I wanted to get it done faster. And that was what my recruiter saw in me that helped her to ask me again and again and again and again and again to be on her team, because she saw that I was disciplined. And so that consistency that builds discipline was what kept me going and what built my customer base over the years. I certainly did not do great things in the beginning. I was a little crockpot, just kind of keeping warm and taking my Mary Kay with me wherever I went and took the kids, or at the bank doing the deposit, and see those women every day and they're like, I want to look like you. Oh, well, you can buy this. Anyway, it was easier than that. And it wasn't quite worded that way, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they saw me every day and got to know me and wanted the products. So I wasn't out there beating the streets or doing anything. I wish I would have a little bit more, but I was still consistent, and that discipline helps. So any other questions or concerns, or need some help or feedback or anything? No? Are y'all breathing? Is there anybody there? Hello? Hello? Okay, well,
That's great training. Thank you, April.
thank you, Vanessa, and congratulations. I can't wait to celebrate your star success at the Star
Thank
Consultant
you.
Celebration. Yay, we'll see you soon. And we'll also see you for your annual unit awards. I'm sure you are going to come. And Heidi, did we have a list started for that? I did want to ask about that.
We do not. We need
Okay.
one.
We're doing a potluck.
Do
So
it in Voxer because I noticed that the sign up genius hasn't worked very well. Like people don't all get on there and then we don't know what we got. So just put in the Voxer what you plan to bring for potluck that night.
okay.
And then I have an inspirational close if we're done.
Excellent. I was going to ask you that. Thank you.
You
Take
ready?
it away, Heidi.
Okay. Okay. So as we close tonight, I want to leave you with these words from Oprah Winfrey. She says, create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become exactly what you believe. And I think, isn't that beautiful? It's exactly what we talk about all the time. But like, we become what we believe. We don't become what we fear, what you wish, or what you believe, right? So we're not going to focus on our fears, not going to focus on all that, which goes along so great with this tonight. And then also just deciding to believe bigger. And so stretching into goals that excite and challenge you. And let us remember that confidence isn't about knowing every step. It's about trusting yourself enough to just take the next one. And I love that. So just focus on what's right next step. Doesn't have to be what's at the end of the year. What do you need to do for July?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can do short-term goals and long-term goals. Maybe your short-term goal is to build some consistency. Okay, so this month I'm going to get up 10 minutes earlier every day until I'm up an hour earlier. Or, whatever. It's take it in bite-sized pieces. Your goals are your goals. We're here to support you with your goals, but we have to know what they are. And you have to know what they are and what you really, 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 really want. So all that
kind
we
of
I also
sparked
wanted
a
to tell you
memory.
guys that on the bottom of announcements, there is a end of year, like, how do you like to be recognized? What do you see for next year? Like, do you want to go into leadership? Yes, that form. If you fill that out and send it in to your director, I personally am doing a giveaway for all of my personal team members who do it. Because I wanted to do that. I told Denise, and she said, well, I might have something that I bring back from Sandpoint for them then. So I don't know if she's doing one gift, she's going to do a drawing, or gifts for everybody who does it, but fill it out. Fill it out and send it back to her. Even if into April, even if your goal is not leadership, like put that down in there because it lets us know like who we want to work with, who wants to work with us, who wants coaching. It asks you how often do you want coaching, do you want more or less coaching. Like it really helps us to be better leaders when we know what it is that you want. And if you don't fill it out, that tells us that you don't want help. So fill it out and send it back because I know that you all want to have coaching time with your director.
exactly. I just shared the screen. Can you see it?
Thank you.
Yes,
I
thank
I
you.
didn't see that on the announcements because I didn't scroll through all the flyers. So thank you.
Yep, it's the
Yes.
very last one.
Speaking on that too, Heidi, are we too late to make our nominations for?
Yes.
I
Nomination
totally
for
forgot.
clothes. I think she's already got stuff. Yeah.
Totally forgot about it and all the end of the year push and chaos. Dang
Yeah,
it.
that's okay. It's normal. The other thing that I love on that flyer too is it tells us like how you like to be recognized because I know that like we all get together as directors and I call myself a director still, forgive me. We get together
You
as
are.
directors and we like talk about what we're going to do for the new year and like what do we want? What do we want to celebrate? How do we want to celebrate? And not everybody is prize motivated and not everybody's money motivated and not everybody is coach bag motivated. So tell us how you like to be recognized because then we can create things that kind of touch on everybody's senses for better promotions for the new year. Okay. That's really important because we want to make sure this year is phenomenal.
Exactly. All right. If that is all, we are a little over time, but thank you so much for getting on. I know it's the 4th of July week. I know you're all, hot today, but it's Happy New Year. Remember, Happy New Year. I didn't have a little thing to blow. Woo! There you go. We're going to celebrate. I didn't want to put confetti in my house because I'm trying to sell it. Sorry. But we got the disco ball
Yay.
and our pom-poms. So Happy New Year. Let's
Love you
celebrate in
guys.
style. Love you. Have
Love
a great
you. Good
4th of
night.
July. Be safe.